Hey guys, so in today's activity, we're going to be starting at the beginning of the engineering design process, and that starts with the defining the problem. So after completing this activity, you'll be able to identify a design problem, write an effective problem statement, and then identify the constraints and criteria for a given problem. All you're going to need for this assignment is this document. And you're going to be answering these questions at the bottom. And I'm going to go through it with an example just off the top of my head right now. So for you, going back to the top, the problem definition is often considered to be the most important step in the design process. It is critical that the correct problem be identified. Constraints are the specific conditions that solutions must meet in order to solve the problem. Constraints and criteria could include things like size, weight, color, and cost. In this activity, you will identify problems as well as the criteria and the constraints. So, coming down to the actual activity, it's just answering the reflective questions. So, I'm going to kind of go through this really quickly with, just brainstorming. So, where did the idea for this problem originate? Was it your idea or did it come from someone else? So, the idea that I have is coming from myself, and it's coming from a problem that I have with a set of headphones that my wife purchased for me for when we go on trips. It's the big over the head earphones. So not like AirPods or any of the ones that stick in your ear. It's the big one that blocks out all of the noise. They basically, I hardly ever use them. Even at my desk, I really like them, but the problem is I always forget to charge them. So that would be where that would be what I would write for number one if I was doing my headphones. So in the second question, in the space below, write everything that you know about the problem. If the idea came from someone else, you may need to speak with that person to fully understand the problem. So you should be coming up with this idea on your own. So in order to do that, you just need to look around. Pick a room in your home and just think about the problems you've had with anything in that room. So if you are familiar with the show Shark Tank, a lot of times people will watch the show and be amazed and like, wow, why didn't I think of that? Well, it's because you're not looking for those problems. The people that went on that show actually were having problems with something and decided to come up with a solution. They went through these same processes. So for me, everything I know about the problem, my headphones need to be charged in order to work. They have that sound cancellation, the sound cancellation effect to them, so that you can, like I said, we bought them for the airplane so we can block out the noise. But when we bought them, I was under the impression that it came with an auxiliary cable. I was under the impression that if I didn't want the um, sound distortion, that I would be able to just plug it straight in. It would just work like, normal cheap headphones. That wasn't the case with my headphones. It turns out that they have to be charged for the speakers to work no matter what. So, um, for me, that's the largest problem. So everything that I know about the problem is that the headphones must always be charged. They came with a short USB cable to charge them, so you don't have to have any kind of batteries. And they also have an auxiliary port. So that's the problem that I'm having. Number three, thinking about the need you are addressing the design problem and write a problem statement. Make sure your statement is specific enough to fully describe the problem, but not so specific that it limits the creativity of your design. So the problem statement is my airplane headphones do not have a way to work if the battery dies. That may simply be the statement. So from there, it can come up. You can come up with different solutions. So that would be in a later phase, but that is my problem statement. And then down here to determine design constraints and criteria for the problem. So the constraints are whatever I decide must still be easily portable with my headphones. So I don't want to add any pieces to the headphones. I don't want to complicate it. I still want it to have the sleek design. The headphones itself are all black. So if we're talking about color, I would like whatever solution I come up with to match the design. So still be all black so that it matches. And that's it for the immediate off the top of my head constraints. So that's what you'll be working with for this assignment. So you're going to pick anything in your room. You can choose your room. You can choose the kitchen. You can choose your car. I don't want a bunch of phone submissions, so I'm gonna just X off the phone. But it needs to be a real problem, and I need to see that there's thought put into the problem and the possible solutions for it. I don't want software, and I want you to actually think about what could actually be done to possibly solve this problem in the future. So that's it. We'll now get ready to start working on the activity inside of Schoology.